Hey, this is Aaron.
And it's Steven.
And once again, this is the story so far. We're back for the second week in a row.
Woo woo!
I think we're getting some consistency going.
We're trying.
Alright, well, hey, you know what? We're going to jump into the news right off. Got some entertainment news to start off with this week. First off, I don't know if everybody's heard, but they are making a new Star Wars trilogy. It's going to be films 7, 8, and 9. And J.J. Abrams is going to be the guy to direct the first one, number 7. Pretty excited about that. I thought they did great with the reboot of Star Trek. Looking forward to Star Trek Into Darkness, the second movie out of that that's coming out soon. So he's, like I say, going to be helming that. Out of that news has come news that they are going to be doing character-driven standalone movies. They've talked about doing a Yoda movie, Han Solo, and Boba Fett. And there was talk that Yoda was going to be the first one that they were going to do out of those type of movies. But now I'm hearing rumblings that they're going to do a young Han Solo movie first. And then also Frank Oz, who has voiced Yoda in all the movies, has said that he would love to come back and be the voice of Yoda once again. So a lot of Star Wars news coming out. It seems like there's rumors coming out daily. In the new movies, I know that a lot of the old cast has said that they would love to be involved with those. Everybody from Mark Hamill to Ewan McGregor actually is the latest one that expressed interest as trying to come back as Obi-Wan. So we'll see what happens there. Moving on, we've got the Spider-Man movie, as I mentioned last week, has started pre-production, and I think they've actually started production, but I'm not quite positive on that. Jamie Foxx is actually going to be playing one of the villains. He's going to be playing a character called Electro in the movie. And now one of the latest rumors is that Paul Giamatti has expressed interest to play the Rhino in the movie. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there, see if he's actually playing him or not, and if he is, to see how they do with the suit, because the Rhino is a guy that runs around dressed as a rhinoceros, where he even has a horn sticking out of the top of his head and everything, and he's a big guy, so they'll have to do some CGI work there to make that work out. Also along the lines of Marvel movies, a lot of talk of Iron Man 3. Don't know if you've seen the trailer or some of the trailers for that. That's coming out in the summer. Looks great. They're talking about possibly an end scene in the movie dealing with one of the other movies that's going to be going into production here soon. They've already been casting for it, called Guardians of the Galaxies. So there may be some interaction there. Definitely stay tuned at the end of the movie, because there's always something good that will lead you into a future Marvel movie. That's one thing that those guys are great at doing. And Guardians of the Galaxy will actually help lead into the next Avengers movie at some point. So you've got that. You've got Thor 2 coming out. And you've also got Captain America 2, which is called Captain America the Winter Soldier, that's going to be coming out. Thor, I think, is later this year. Captain America is definitely next year. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is also next year, but like I said, they're going to be doing a hint, supposedly some sort of a hint at that in Iron Man. Another interesting thing that I saw was that Michael Keaton is going to be in a movie for the video game Need for Speed. So they're turning that video game franchise into at least one movie. It'll be interesting to see how it goes, you know. I mean, I don't know. I like playing the game every so often, but another movie that's actually getting the reboot treatment is Hitman. I don't know if you ever saw that, but that was based off of the Hitman video game franchise. And actually, Paul Walker from the Fast and the Furious series of movies, is going to be playing the lead role in that. I think his name is Agent 47 or something like
Yep.
that. So he's going to be playing the lead in that. Another thing I wanted to bring up was if you have not seen it, there's actually 2 versions of it, but get online and look up the trailers for Man of Steel. I mean, the new Superman movie, dude, if you haven't seen the trailers for it, just awesome.
I'll have to post some links for him.
Yeah.
There's a link for Iron Man 3 and a link for Man of Steel.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get some links up. One thing that I did, the thing that really gets me about this movie is, like I say, they've got 2 different beginning trailers for it, and one has Jonathan Kent, which is played by Kevin Costner, doing a voiceover for the trailer, and then the other one's got Jor-El, who's being played by Russell Crowe, doing the voiceover, and they both say something different, but they both, I mean, it's really good. You know, honestly, I've got butterflies. Cannot wait for this movie. It's going to be a good one. I'm serious, dude. It's just like, I'm gay for Superman. What can I say?
Hey, if you're gonna be gay for anybody, why not the Man of Steel, right?
You know, in all honesty, he's one of my favorite comic book characters. He's actually something that I aspire to, you know, as far as my character, my personal character. I try to be honest and upstanding as much as possible, even though I still have to work at that. But you know, it's definitely, he's one of my favorite comic book characters that I used to follow when I did collect comics, and so I'm really excited for the movie. I honestly don't think that they have done a good Superman movie ever. So I'm hoping that this one's going to be good. You know, with Christopher Nolan on as a producer, I think it's going to turn out good. I mean, look what he did with the Batman franchise. All 3 of the latest movies are all good. So, the one thing about the Batman franchise, though, that I will state is I really liked Batman, the first one that had Michael Keaton in it.
Yeah.
Back from 1989, I do believe. That was a good Batman movie. I really liked that one. The others, not so much. So, that's about all the entertainment news I've got for the minute. So, let's kick it on over to you.
Breaking news. Beyonce feels like a woman. End of breaking news.
Well, there you have it. Have you seen that picture?
We brought it to you first.
Have you seen that picture of her from her Super Bowl performance that's floating around the net? It's all over iFunny, but it's floating around the net, and I've heard when she's doing her dance, one of the photographers caught her at a moment where her muscles are just totally flexed.
Oh yeah.
And she's making that funny face.
Yep.
And she wants it removed from the internet, which will never happen.
Oh no.
But you know, I mean, there's actually a couple of them out there.
I did see one of those.
Oh.
They actually, it looks like they photoshopped parts of it to where her arms are like really, really buff.
No, the one that you see all over is all her, but they have photoshopped it to where she's got really muscly arms. I've seen it photoshopped with Arnold Schwarzenegger in his Conan gear.
Yeah.
They say introducing Conan and Mrs. Conan.
Nice.
Still one of the worst performances for the halftime show, if you ever ask me.
Of course, they haven't made a good one for a long time. So.
No, I agree.
Anyway, I'm gonna move to technology.
Oh wow.
Rumor has it that Apple is producing a smartwatch.
Yeah, I've actually seen pictures of people and what they thought that it would look like for actually quite a long time. Really cool idea, in my opinion. I mean, if you make it,
an iWatch.
yeah. I mean, obviously, and they're probably going to incorporate iTunes into it and some other features,
Yeah,
and that is actually.
Like a shuffle.
You can't see, obviously, what we're looking at here, so look it up on the internet. You can look it up on CNN.com, but that picture actually looks way different from what I've seen.
Oh yeah.
I've seen it look like the newer Nanos, touch screen.
Yeah.
So that one was like
It
one of
looks
the old
like a
school.
shuffle.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I mean, that's exciting news. I can't wait to see it. I've also seen pictures of another that's just an MP3 bracelet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that, and then you plug in your earphones to that. But that would be a good idea, you know, have the watch, and then you have the,
Music player.
I was going to say the Bluetooth earphones to go with it.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, that's all I had really on that.
I think it's a fabulous idea, you know. The problem is that it's going to come out and still cost you $500.
Yep.
So.
And then some other news. Have you heard about the ex-cop that went on a killing spree in California?
Yeah. They actually have him trapped. He's in a burning cabin right this second, supposedly.
Oops.
He got into a firefight earlier today with some cops.
And killed one.
And so, you know, they apparently have chased him to this cabin, and there's ammunition going off all over the place from the fire and all that. So.
Yep.
Terrible situation, and hopefully this is going to be the resolve to it. You know, I mean, the guy definitely deserved the death penalty, and no better death than going out in flames.
Right here, it was at 9:14 Eastern time. The suspect, so the ex-cop, tried to get out the back door of the cabin at some point today and was pushed back inside. But they're saying there's conflicting evidence whether he ever emerged or not. So, but that's about it. So.
Terrible story. I mean, you know, he first started off with killing people related to police.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, if you're going to
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. That's our producer back there playing Candy Crush.
It's on silent. I don't know why it turned
Jeez. Anyway, you know, to take revenge out on the police force in LA, he decided that he was going to go out and start killing their families and that.
Yep.
And fortunately, for some, he didn't get to their families, but unfortunately for others, he did get to a few family members. So, you know, terrible situation all the way around.
This one is kind of for Tyler because I saw it on Facebook earlier, or his comment about it earlier this week. Although I did read the story Monday morning at work. The Pope is retiring, and he'll be the first one in like 600 years to retire.
Yeah, amazing.
So he just says his mind and body are deteriorating, and he no longer has the strength to do it.
I honestly don't believe that.
I don't either.
I think there is a sex scandal at the heart of this.
Oh. Alright, so let's move into this debate that I was telling you about.
Oh, goody.
So, out of Paul Millsap and Carlos Boozer, who do you think's the better player?
You know, I haven't kept up with Boozer since he went to the Bulls. So I'm going to have to go with Paul Millsap because just based on Boozer's time here, seems like Boozer was injured more. And so that would make Millsap a more durable player, and I think that he's a better player. So.
I was listening to The Zone, and they were arguing this point, and they said that Carlos Boozer is definitely a better player. And as much as I hate Carlos Boozer, I have to agree. Skill set wise, as far as just because of his time in the league and everything like that, I would agree. As of right now, he's a better player. But I think if you compared them where Boozer's at now and Carlos Boozer or Paul Millsap down the road, being in the league as long as Carlos Boozer has, I think definitely Paul Millsap's the better player. But like you said, he's more durable. much more reliable. Can be counted on to be there when you need him. I mean, look what he's done against the Heat in 2 years in a row. Not just one game or whatever, but 2 years in a row. It comes down to the final shot, and he shoots a 3 and makes it.
I was at that game this year. Good game.
Eat crap or die. But they just said that Carlos Boozer is a better player on the radio, and I immediately disagreed. Also, they were talking about salary wise, and I think we got a much better deal getting Paul Millsap, because no matter, I don't care what universe you're playing in, Carlos Boozer is not worth $17 million a year. So
I definitely have to agree with that.
especially because 1/3 of his career here in Utah he was injured.
Yeah.
So I think by and far Paul Millsap's a better player. I just didn't. It wasn't really much of a debate because I knew what your answer was going to be. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, like I say, I just haven't kept up with him since he went to the Bulls, and there's remember the other guy that went with him, Kyle Korver?
Yeah.
Kyle who? You don't ever hear of him.
I do.
So.
I even know what team he plays for.
Oh yeah, who's he with now?
Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, see, didn't even know he
But
was traded.
he doesn't really play much anymore.
See, he totally.
Who else went with him?
I don't remember.
Ronnie Brewer.
Oh, see.
And he's not even with them anymore either. He plays for the Knicks now.
Yeah. There again, just two players you don't hear much of that you'd probably hear a lot about if they stayed with the Jazz.
Yep.
Would have had a lot more playing time, probably be scoring some good points for the Jazz.
Yep.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Anyway, other news. Damn you Giants.
Let's see. We can go to football. Michael Vick is staying with the Eagles, at least for 1 year. I read more about the contract agreement and everything.
Yeah, he restructured and took a hefty pay cut.
Well, yeah, he restructured.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think that he probably did the right thing, honestly.
Well, and I think that's the beauty of it is I think he wanted to stay there and see what he could do with Chip Kelly in that offense, because there's no way that Nick Foles can play in that offense. He is just too slow.
Yeah.
I remember ESPN showing a video of him, like one of his first games playing after Vic got hurt, and he is just really slow. So my grandma could have outran him.
Way to go, Grandma.
She doesn't even have a cheetah on her back.
Yeah, she doesn't have a cheetah on her back. But I think he also realized, he had a lot of turnovers, and he probably realized he wasn't worth $15 million. Not saying he's not, but at the moment he's not. So his contract actually, we were gonna pay him till 2016, and that's still the plan. But we can.
But right now, the contract that he's on is only for 1 year.
No, it's 3. But in March, the Eagles can opt out of the last 2 years of it, which they're more than likely going to do.
Which is a good bet on their side. I mean, just go ahead and do that. Let him play out the year, and then offer him a new contract if he does well.
Yep.
And like I say, it's smart for him to stick around because it shows that he wants to be there for that particular team, and be there for the coach. And it's good that the coach is probably backing him up too.
Yep.
So this would be his year that he definitely knows he needs to go out and shine. Whether it's to stay with the Eagles or just to prove to other teams that he's a decent quarterback that they can bet on.
Absolutely.
So I honestly, there's only upside there for Vic. He's like I say, he's just got to prove himself. So
let's talk about the Giants.
let's talk about the Giants, man. Letting go of Michael Boley and Ahmad Bradshaw, and I don't know the other guy, but Boley and Bradshaw, they're
You don't know Canty?
No, I know him. I just couldn't remember his name. So but you know, you're letting go of not only veteran players but high quality veteran players, and it's just over their contracts. So I don't know. Right now, my faith in my team for this upcoming season is definitely low. You know, this year I had high expectations, and although they did well, they just didn't do what they should have. They should have been in the Super Bowl, no doubt about it. They just couldn't have pulled it off. And, so this next year, after the moves that I'm seeing right at this point,
Sorry, I'm just celebrating the years coming of Dallas Cowboys sucking because they want to sign Tony Romo to a long-term deal.
well, let me stay with the Giants for a
Sorry, go
second,
ahead.
okay? Right now, the moves that the Giants are making are just for cutting costs on payroll, and you know, I hope that they pick up some good free agents coming up soon, because right now it's starting to look bleak. So yeah, you say anyway, Romo, they're looking to sign him.
Yeah, they want to sign to a long-term contract. So here's 2 years of sucking for the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm sorry, the guy's been there long enough. He should have proven himself. He needs to hit the bricks.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the Cowboys, the Saints just hired their former defensive coordinator, Rob Ryan, to a contract as the defensive coordinator for them.
Yep.
You really think he's going to do better under Sean Payton?
No.
Honestly, I think he will.
I don't think it'll be because he's under Sean Payton. I think it'll be because he's got better talent.
I think it's both A and B.
Meh.
I think that he was in a bad situation in Dallas, but I think he's in a good situation with the Saints, and I think that
I can't disagree with that. Just because it is a lot better of a situation to be in New Orleans.
all the way around. But the thing is I bet if he would have gone to any other team, I don't think he'll have a good season. So I'm willing to bet that the Saints are going to have a good season, and their defense is going to be a lot better. But I think the bulk of that has to go towards Sean Payton being back. What else you got?
Let's see. It seems like Percy Harvin's going to hold out with the Vikings, which they'll probably just cut him, or try to trade him first, just because he's still under contract. But he wants a bigger contract. And when I first heard that, all I could think of was, I don't remember ever hearing him doing big things this season at all.
He's done all right for them.
I mean, he's a good receiver. You can't take that away from him, and he can run the ball as well. But I don't see it.
You know, it's funny in the NFL, MLB, any sport. It's funny how people can hold out for better pay.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas us regular Joe Schmoes, if we go home and we say we're holding out, we're just fired. I'm holding out until you give me a raise. Well, we'll see you hit the bricks. And
We'll hire someone new
exactly.
and have to pay him less.
Pay them half as much as we paid you and probably get twice as much production.
I wouldn't admit to that, but
I wouldn't either, but you know what? That's what the expectation is. So.
the Bears are going to terminate the contract of Johnny Knox, their wide receiver. He's injured and has been for quite a while. So, Rob Gronkowski broke his forearm. I don't know if we ever mentioned this, but he
broke it twice in the season, dude.
yeah, broke it, came back, broke it that very same game. When in the off season, they got a video of him body slamming one of his friends in the club. He's got his cast on and everything, and he body slammed his friend. And then shortly after that, he was offered $3.4 million, which is what he's due to make this year if he did porn video. So, yeah. Panthers are gonna have a renovated stadium, and
Yeah, it looks like that's about it.
the Super Bowl is supposed to be where the Giants play this year, but they're talking about maybe having it somewhere else.
Honestly, I think that's a good idea to move it because, I don't know, it's ridiculous to play in a game or in a stadium where you can be snowed on.
Yep.
You know, your crowd's going to be miserable for the whole game, and when it's the Super Bowl, you're asking them to be there a lot longer than in a normal game just because of your halftime show and all this other garbage. I don't think that's a wise decision. I think they need to stick with a sunny state for the outdoor stadium, or stick to, yeah.
Let's see. The Bills released Barnett and Wilson, 2 wide receivers. Oh no, excuse me, they're defenders. So I think they're cornerbacks. And news on your Giants. The tackle David Deal, he pleaded guilty to aggravated DWI.
These people that drink are stupid. I just want to say that. You get put into stupid situations, wind up having to go to court and all this other garbage, plead out. Not to mention drunk driving and all that garbage. I mean, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it.
I'd agree with you there. I know somebody who's going through all that right now.
Yeah, well, you know, you put yourself in a situation where you shouldn't have been, and trouble's gonna follow you.
Yep. Alright.
Your actions have consequences.
Just remember, kids, your actions have consequences.
Alright, now that life's lesson is over for the day, let's do iPod. The iPod feature.
For the first time, what's on your iPod, Steven?
I don't even know if many people know of this guy, but have you ever heard of Billy Squier?
Yes.
You have, okay. I'd only heard it one time before, but this is on my iPod now. Easy. And every time I hear it, I think of what movie? Billy Madison. When he drives up to the high school and sits on the hood and pulls his jacket back.
Yeah.
I also think of this guy who used to go to the bar. We went to, I've only been there like 2 or 3 times, but, what bar is it? Caesars on 36th Street. I don't even know if that's what it's called anymore. But there's this old guy who every time he goes in there sings this song called Stroke It to the East, Stroke It to the West. So yeah, I think of that when I hear this song too sometimes, just because of the stroke. So that's what's on my iPod. Oldie but a goodie.
You want me to throw something out there too?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
It's not just my iPod feature tonight.
Well, I thought that we were just going to go with that, so let me pull up what I've got. Something newer here. Let me get into my artist here. Here we go. This is Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. And we'll go ahead. This is called Thrift Shop.
Hey Macklemore, can we go thrift shopping?
What? This is a good song.
That is a good song. For those of you that are of the religious persuasion, you might want to look for the radio edit, if you can find one. I downloaded the unedited, so.
I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm looking for a dollar. This is fucking awesome. Walk into the club like, what up? I got a big cock.
Whoops. Anyway, that is called Thrift Shop by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. Okay, all right, okay.
I just had to point it out.
We heard this.
Look, shut up.
Okay. All right, you got anything else you need to throw out? You want to throw out?
Yeah, just kick him to the curb.
Anytime, pal. Anytime. One thing I do want to throw out there is, I've been trying to get better on being on top of current gigs that are coming up for some of our local artists. One that is coming up next month on March 2nd at Cocapelli's Coffee Shop. There's a benefit show called Create 01, which is a bunch of artists. One of the artists is going to be Tyler Privet, formerly of Maverick and the Sweetheart Rebellion, one of our favorite bands here. So if you guys have some time, definitely try and hit that up. Look for some information on it online, because I'm not sure. He didn't tell me a time as to when it starts, but usually around 8 o'clock is probably a good time to be there. And then just, support local music, please. And I'll try and get more things going for next week as far as upcoming gigs. I know that another one of our favorite bands, Opal Hill Drive, they're actually going to be going out of town for a little bit. So, but they do have a big show that they're going to be doing this summer with Great White and a bunch of other bands. It's a show that they had actually talked about back at the Summer Decompression show that was put on here in Ogden. And Maverick and the Sweetheart Rebellion actually won a spot on that show before they broke up. So they could also have been playing that show. And so I'm sad that they're not going to be. It's been a good reason for us to go to it. But I'll try and get some information on that show. I've just got to look it up on Facebook and find the post that Jedi posted. But I will have more information on some of our other favorite bands and hopefully have those written down so I can talk about them next week. But definitely support Opal Hill Drive, Tyler Privet. He's doing some solo stuff here and there, not too much, but the Red on Black, another one of my favorites. Support them. Those guys are doing a lot more gigs. Was at their first show and I thought they did great, so we actually bought their CD that they had. Surprisingly, before they'd had any gigs under their belt, they actually had a CD, and it was only 5 or 6 songs. So I think they are currently working on a new CD. But yeah, definitely get out and support the local music scene, and like I say, I'll try and do better at it here on the show.
You need to be.
I know, so do you.
Since we're talking about supporting people, support us as well. Let your friends and other people know about the show, and we're welcome to ideas of what people think we should talk about. I mean,
I always throw that out. Hey,
I know.
give us your viewer ideas, and I hardly ever get any.
I know.
Oh, do more of this. Bring back the old hosts. Well, I talk to the old hosts and tell them anytime they want to come on. And they're like, oh yeah, we should get together. And then that's all they hear about it,
Yeah.
I tell them, hey, we take the show on Tuesday nights. You should come by. Then I never hear from anybody. So then I tell them, well, okay, I'll make a special night when we can do it. You guys just let me know when. Then I never hear from them. So, whoa, hey, that's my phone dying. But, and then I hear people want us to do more interviews. Like I said, we've been traveling a lot the last couple of months, so that hasn't been possible. But now that we're not traveling, we might be able to make that possible. But all depends, because my wife/producer is pregnant, so I kind of got to work around that a little bit. But right at this point, it's still possible. So we'll see what we can do before we get.
She's not really pregnant.
That's just low, dude. I'm gonna kick your ass off the show.
Look, man, she clowned me about my receding hairline.
You can't deny either. Baby bump, receding hairline.
We have video proof.
Receding hairline, baby bump. Not pregnant though.
No, you're not.
Do you really want to compare?
Nah, I'm good.
Not a receding hairline.
I know, it's just back. You got 5 head.
I know. It's just 'cause I like to wear my hats.
I do too, that's why I
What can I
have
say?
a receding
What
hairline.
can I say? I would think that I would, but you know, I don't. I'm pretty sure that later in life I'll probably end up with one because my grandpa on my mom's side, her dad was bald. Well, had a receding hairline and he was going bald. My father is going bald. So, but you know, he's into his 60s now. So I've still got about 23 years.
I'll be lucky if I have 3
24
years.
So.
It's alright, chicks dig the bald guys. What can I say?
Oh, dude, I'll tell you, if I start going bald, as long as I got some back here, major comb over. No. As long as I got some right here, major comb over. Curl the beard down to here, and then just bring it up over the sides.
It's a good thing I'm a barber and I know where you sleep.
Oh man.
That'd be awesome though. You just have to convince her to let you do it at least once.
No.
Just to see what it would look like.
No, if my hair starts receding, I'll just totally shave it all off.
That's what my plan is. I mean, once it recedes more.
Yeah, when it gets to a certain point, it's just time to just totally shave it all off.
Right.
So, but I've been bald before. Wife doesn't like it, but maybe by then she'll be used to me to the point where it'll be okay. Anyway, I think that's going to be a show for this week.
Yeah, I think so too. This has been Steven.
This has been Aaron. We'll catch you next time.